Hi, and welcome to Torah Tuesday. This week's Torah portion is called Parashat Naso, and within it are perhaps the most beautiful words of blessing found in the entire Torah. Known as the Birkat Kohanim, Numbers chapter 6, verses 22 through 27, are familiar to all of us. We've heard them recited in the synagogue. We've heard them perhaps in churches as well. We've heard them when our children were welcomed into the world with words of covenant and faith. We heard them perhaps when we celebrated becoming a bar or bat mitzvah and the rabbi or cantor recited them for us on the bima of our sanctuary. We heard them when we stood beneath the chuppah to be married and to receive blessing and to enter into the covenant of marriage. These ancient words commanded by God to Moses were intended for the priests, Aaron and his sons, the Kohanim, to bestow blessing from God upon the people of Israel, to place God's name upon the people and to say to them, Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, may God bless you and keep you. Ye'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka, may the presence of God shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom, may God's presence be lifted up before you, and may you know blessing, the blessing of shalom, of wholeness and peace. I think when we hear these words of blessing, we feel warm and comforted, for we believe that each of us who hears these words recited for us is the recipient of blessing, the recipient of a great gift, the comfort and knowledge that our lives and those we love are blessed by God. And well, it should be, but sometimes I think we think too much of ourselves as the receivers of blessing and less so as the creators of blessing, the emissaries of blessing to the world. I think indeed Parashat Naso has a double entendre, an intention not only to remind us that we are blessed and that we can and will be blessed, but also that we can be blessing. How do we be blessings? Well, it is by the way we live our lives, not merely thinking about what God will do for us, what faith can do for us, how our belief can make our lives better, but also how we as partners with God can become blessing and be blessing and look at the world around us and bring blessing to others and to the world. At a time such as this, when our world is such in need of blessing, when there is so much absence of wholeness and peace in the world, when so many are worried and think of anxiety and healing and hope for a better time, and also when we look around us and see so much evidence of the brokenness of the world, the absence of justice, the struggle of all people to live in a society that is equitable and fair and just for all human beings, perhaps now more than ever, we need to not only hope for and receive the blessing of Parashat Naso, but also take these words into our own lives and be a blessing. May each of us hear these words as we hear them again this year. May we receive them as our blessing, but also as our responsibility. And may each of us go out with our own lives into the world to do justice, to love mercy and compassion, and to bring peace, humbly, for ourselves and for all. May this be our blessing. Amen.